Queen Camilla doesn't want to be queen despite Queen Elizabeth giving her the coveted title, insider claims. The late Queen Elizabeth II surprised many royal watchers when she announced in her Platinum Jubilee message that she wanted Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, to be known as Queen Consort when her son Prince Charles ascends the throne. The message, released on February 6, 2022, was one of the last public statements of the Queen before she passed away peacefully on September 9, 2022, at Balmoral Castle. The Queen's endorsement of Camilla's title was seen as a sign of her acceptance and support for her daughter-in-law, who had faced years of public criticism and hostility for her role in the breakdown of Charles' marriage to Princess Diana. Camilla, who married Charles in 2005 after a long and controversial affair, had previously said that she did not want to be queen and that she preferred to be known as Princess Consort instead. However, according to royal biographer Christopher Anderson, author of The King, The Life of Charles III, the Queen's decision to back Camilla as Queen Consort was not motivated by genuine affection, but by a very subtle and unspoken deal behind the scenes that involved Prince Andrew, the Queen's second son and former favorite. Anderson claimed that the Queen always detested Camilla and only agreed to give her blessing for Camilla's title because of an unspoken deal behind the scenes over Prince Andrew, who had been embroiled in a scandal involving his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and allegations of sexual abuse against him. Anderson said that the deal was a quid pro quo that allowed Prince Andrew to keep his royal status and privileges in exchange for the Queen's approval of Camilla's title. He said that the Queen had resisted this deal for many years but finally relented in her last months of life. The Queen always detested Camilla, Anderson said on Newsweek's Royal Report podcast. The Queen Mother particularly detested Camilla because she was throwing a wrench in the works. Because of Camilla, the monarchy was kind of brought to the brink of destruction. Anderson said that Buckingham Palace had launched an operation called Operation PB to rehabilitate Camilla's image after Diana's death in 1997. He said that it took 8 years for Charles to finally convince everybody to accept Camilla as his wife, and that he had to jump through all those hoops to do it. Anderson said that the Queen regarded Camilla with caution during the early days of knowing her, but warmed up to her towards the later years of her life. He said that the Queen appreciated Camilla's loyalty and devotion to Charles, and that they shared a common interest in horses and dogs. However, he said that the Queen never truly forgave Camilla for hurting Diana and for damaging the reputation of the monarchy. He said that the Queen only agreed to Camilla's title as a way of securing Prince Andrew's future and avoiding further scandal. It was a very subtle and unspoken deal behind the scenes that resulted in the Queen suddenly endorsing Camilla, Anderson said. It involved a kind of quid pro quo. The Queen said, "Okay, I'll give you this if you give me that." And what she wanted was for Prince Andrew to be protected. Anderson said that Prince Andrew had been the Queen's favorite son and that she had always defended him from criticism and controversy. He said that the Queen was devastated by the allegations against him and by his disastrous interview with BBC Newsnight in 2019, in which he denied any wrongdoing but failed to express sympathy for Epstein's victims. Anderson said that Prince Andrew had been effectively sidelined from royal duties and events since then, but that he still retained his titles, patronages, and income from the sovereign grant, which is funded by taxpayers. He said that Prince Andrew had also hoped to return to public life after his mother's death and to play a role in his brother's reign. Anderson said that Charles had been opposed to this idea and had wanted to strip Andrew of his royal status and privileges. He said that Charles had also wanted to slim down the monarchy and focus on his immediate family and heirs. He said that Charles had been at odds with his mother over this issue for years. The Queen was very protective of Andrew, Anderson said. She didn't want him to lose everything. She wanted him to have some dignity and some role in the future. She didn't want him to be completely ostracized. Anderson said that the Queen had agreed to endorse Camilla as Queen Consort as a way of appeasing Charles and ensuring his cooperation with Andrew. He said that the Queen had hoped that by giving Charles what he wanted, he would also give her what she wanted. She said, "If you want Camilla to be Queen Consort, then you have to let Andrew keep his titles and his income and his place in the royal family," Anderson said. She hoped that by doing this, Charles would not be too harsh on Andrew and would not cut him off completely. Anderson said that this deal was never made public or official, but that it was understood by both parties. He said that the Queen's Platinum Jubilee message was a way of signaling her agreement and of preparing the public for Camilla's title. She wanted to make it clear that Camilla was going to be queen consort and that there was no going back on that, Anderson said. She wanted to avoid any confusion or controversy after her death. Anderson said that the deal had worked in favor of both Charles and Andrew, but that it had also caused resentment and division within the royal family. He said that some members of the family, such as Prince William and Prince Harry, had been unhappy with the deal and had felt betrayed by their grandmother. They felt that their grandmother had sold out Diana's memory and had given in to Charles' demands, Anderson said. They also felt that their Uncle Andrew had gotten away with too much and had not faced justice for his actions. Anderson said that the deal had also angered many people in the public who had been loyal to Diana and who had disliked Camilla for years. He said that many people had also been outraged by Andrew's involvement in the Epstein scandal and had demanded accountability and transparency from him. They felt that the Queen had let them down and had put her family's interests above the country's interests, Anderson said. They felt that the Queen had betrayed her duty and her legacy. Anderson said that the deal had cast a shadow over the Queen's final months of life and over her funeral, which was attended by both Camilla and Andrew. He said that the deal had also created a rift between Charles and his sons, who had been estranged from him for some time. He said that the deal had also raised questions about the future of the monarchy and its relevance and popularity in the 21st century. He said that Charles faced a challenge to win over the public's trust and affection as king, and to prove that he and Camilla were worthy of their titles. He has a lot of work to do to convince people that he is a good king and that Camilla is a good queen, Anderson said. He has to show them that he cares about them and their issues, and that he is not just concerned about himself and his family. Anderson said that the deal had been a gamble for both the Queen and Charles, and that only time would tell if it had paid off or backfired. It was a risky move for both of them, Anderson said. It could either strengthen or weaken the monarchy. It could either unite or divide the nation. It could either honor or tarnish the Queen's memory.